Alright my friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Planet Zoo DLC announcement day. And we this time are going spooky and getting a Twilight Pack. Now as per usual gang, I am late to the party. Reason for this is, I am obviously a dad. I have a job and yeah, I don't do this full time. I can't just sit down whenever I want willy-nilly. But anyway, we're going to get on it now. We're going to do the usual. We're going to take a look at the trailer. We're going to deep dive into it. We're going to take a look at all the information that has been provided as well. There is also an update that's going to be released with the Twilight Pack as well, so we'll take a little look at that. But there are some, in my opinion, very fun things being included in this DLC, and on top of the fun things that are being included, I think this is a hint to what will come next, in my opinion. So yes, stick around and let's find out and go through it all together. So first and foremost, let's go through all of the news, shall we, my friends, because I think that's going to be the most important thing to be doing, because obviously the Planet Zoo Twilight Pack arriving 18th of October comes with lots of additional information that goes alongside the trailer. I am going to throw out there any background noise, as always gang, apologies, that's life in this house. Anyway, hi zookeepers, we told you the sun had set on summer. What does sunset lead to? That's right, Twilight. Introducing the Planet Zoo Twilight Pack that will be making its way to you on the 18th of October alongside the free update 1.11, which we will take a look at. What goes a bump in the night? It's 5 new crepuscular, I think that's how we say that, species for your zoos to enjoy. Give a warm welcome to everyone's favourite bandit, the mischievous raccoon. I am very happy with the inclusion of the raccoon. Now, I've already seen the Discord popping off and Twitter, and it's a very, very mixed view on this DLC, but I want you to hear me out as we go along. I'm going to give you my opinion on why maybe you should rate it in a little and actually think about it from the bigger picture. Sneak through the twilight with the ever clever red fox. Be careful of the striped skunk. And last but certainly not least, take flight with the Egyptian fruit bat as we bring you an all-new exclusive feature, the walkthrough exhibits. Very, very interesting. I'm going to throw something out there with this. I would have preferred it as just a big exhibit box rather than a walkthrough one, because I've never done a walkthrough bat thing, but I don't know, I still think this is an amazing addition for 2 reasons, and we'll get to it in a moment. Walkthrough exhibits are a new special feature coming in the Twilight Pack, featuring an exhibit with a bigger footprint, 20 by 12 by 8, that will allow you to house the new Egyptian fruit bats. While these will be exclusive to the Egyptian fruit bat in the Twilight Pack, the exhibit itself will be available to all players as part of the free update, to allow all builders to have fun with the exhibits itself if they so wish. Now what I'm wondering is, are they giving it to us a little early because the other animals are able to go in there? We'll wait and see, I guess. Builders would also be able to enjoy 200 plus new scenery items, some of which really make the most of the spooky season. This is where I think they've lost some people. It's a very spooky, quite heavily themed pack where the pieces are concerned. Now for me, I welcome new pieces all the time because I don't always use the pieces for what they're meant for. They can become very, interesting detail items, but at the same time I still think, it'll be good for doing some themed parts to some of the big projects. I'll now be able to do at Christmas time, I'll be able to do Christmas theme for the zoo. I'll be able to do, a spooky one for Halloween now. I actually think it's quite interesting, and maybe we should be a bit more open to it. Set the ambience with a whole new set of Gothic-inspired building pieces, including a range of Romanian architecture, a porculus, and even a zoo thematic gargoyles, if you really want to capture the spirit of Halloween and create an area your guests are sure never to forget. You'll love our new jack-o'-lanterns, glowing mushrooms, spiderwebs, and even a cauldron. Nature isn't being forgotten though, as well as the carved pumpkins. We're also adding a range of thrilling plants hide in the shade of the twisted bristlecone pine, a decorative pumpkin patch with new plants including ghost fungus, foxglove, and piles of scattered fall leaves. The scattered fall leaves, yes, thank you very much. I've been wanting something like that for ages. We have one more special surprise still in store, introducing a brand new career scenario. Now I don't really do the careers, but it's still great that they're adding that for people that do. Give them pumpkin to talk about as we head to Transylvanian-based zoo that's been left abandoned by our old friend Dominic Myers. Joined by Nancy, you'll arrive and learn to have a new famous bear to look after, having been kept by an in-world celebrity and not looked after properly. This Himalayan bear has made quite a name for itself in the news, and now guests are flocking to come and see it themselves. So there you go, really cool little scenario, and the first since the Arctic pack, so that's interesting. This DLC, the Twilight Pack, will be available to purchase the normal price on Steam from the 18th of October. Add it to your wish list now, my friends. Now, what I want to say about the pack, two things before we take a look at the wider part of the update and we break down the trailer. I've seen it's a bit mixed on my Discord about if people like it or not. People are saying maybe there's some other animals they could have gone with, maybe there's other stuff they could have done. What you have to understand from Frontier's point of view, and I think that this is a really interesting thing for people to start considering, is they have to please everybody, not just one sector, you know, of the players, and not just another. You know, for me, I'm a realistic player. Do I think this is, you know, maybe the best thing for me? Probably not. But for people that kind of just go in and play the game for a bit of fun and throw a few items in, it's probably, you know, really good for them. For maybe the younger gamer that doesn't go to, you know, great lengths to make things so detailed, you know, you've got to understand everybody plays the game their own way, and they have to think of everybody in the community, and that's why I actually think it's a really good idea for this DLC. Also, I actually think that the fruit bats are kind of a hint to what could come next. If you're looking at that picture, that is telling me there's a flight animation for the bat. And if there is a flight animation for the bat, that could lead to birds in the next DLC, which would be very interesting. And this could sort of be heading in the direction that we are going to go where birds are concerned. So yeah, I think it's super interesting, that part of it. We're going to take a look at the free update 1.11 before we break down the trailer. But this was released yesterday, I believe, the day before the trailer. And there's a bunch of stuff in here that I think is really, really cool and really interesting. So the sun's set on summer again. It's kind of like the same spiel that we just read. Educator exhibit demonstration. So ever wanted to get up close and personal with your exhibit animals? Now you can, or the guests can at least. As part of the update, educators will be able to take exhibit animals out and hold them for display and demonstration when giving talks to guests. This will be available for a wide variety of species, but not all, as very large, dangerous and or unsafe species will not be included, which I think is a lovely touch. That's very realistic. After, we want to keep both educators and guests safe. During talks, an educator will proceed to showcase them to guests before resuming the talk as normal. Educators will either hold them one-handed, two-handed, or on their shoulder, depending on the species. So play around and see how your favourites are held. I actually think this is superb for my Do It Better series, because I've done a reptile house in that, and I just think this is going to be a seriously good addition to the reptile house. Imagine walking in and they're holding the iguana now. I just think it would be so good. Alongside this, animal talk points now display an image on their base of the animal that is being spoken about and make it easier to know what's happening. So that's pretty cool. We've got customizable exhibit backdrops. So your exhibits are now getting another upgrade too, with the addition of a customizable 2D backdrop. So basically these backdrops now, we can customize them and make them what we want them. So I think that's a really cool little addition as well, so you can really personalize them. I think I see Tove saying online that he thought this exhibit box was potentially different and it didn't have glass on it. I just think it's the lighting personally, but it would have been interesting if they kind of had added something like that. Exhibit population management. This is something we've needed for a long time, because we know the exhibit animals can breed at quite a rate, and it's hard to kind of keep up with it, and then you end up with unhappy animals because there's too many in there and whatnot. But now there's going to be a management system. So thought that was all. Nope, exhibits are getting a management upgrade with the new population management tab. We know the rate at which exhibit animals reproduce can be quite fast, so now you will be able to automatically handle the overpopulation of your exhibits. With the ability to set different rules for the males and females of the species, you'll be able to ensure your exhibits are properly maintained. Set your max population count for each, your priority filters such as if they should be removed by oldest first, and then decide what to do with the excess, put them in storage, sell them, or release them to the wild. That's really cool in my opinion. I really do think that's a really cool addition. Exhibit camera improvements. but certainly not elite. Your exhibit cameras are getting an upgrade. The interior camera has been improved to allow you a better view of inside your exhibits, and you can get up close and personal with your animals with all new orbit mode. This will be familiar as it works similarly to habitat camera and will lock on and track animals selected. That's really cool. New biome skirts. This is a great one. I really hope there's a city one. I really hope there's a city one. Your maps are getting an upgrade too with the set of brand new biome skirts. So essentially what that is that's the area outside of the borders of your zoo. You're going to be able to change the theme of that. Create a new look for your zoos with 12 new biome skirts and 1 reskin design to allow you even more variation when determining the look of your landscapes. Ramp terrain tool to allow you even more terrain variations with an easier time producing it. We're also introducing a brand new ramp tool. This terrain modification will allow you to easily create ramps, which is amazing because you're going to be able to go from one level to another in a nice smooth transition now, which I love. Piebald, which is basically the markings on the animals, describes patterns of unpigmented spots across animals' skin or coat, resulting in some really unique looking variants. The rare genetic expression is added as a new colour morph to some species in Planet Zoo. As of the update, you'll be able to discover and enjoy this look on your Nyala, pronghorn antelope and springbok. So that's really cool. We're really getting the animals to look like unique now, aren't we? New animal behaviour escapes. Escaped animals will now get up to even more mischief with a range of new behaviours that will diversify the way escaped animals act. For example, escaped animals will now have the ability to attack bins. If an animal of large enough size escapes, they will proceed to knock over bins and come across and eat the garbage inside. Don't worry though, as the trash is just food waste left by guests. It won't cause disease risk to your animal. However, it still isn't healthy for the animal and will impact the quality of their last meal. Make sure to quickly return them to their enclosures and provide them with safe and healthy snacks for the comfort of the habitat. And the Sound of Summer speaker upgrade. We all see that they've released a brand new soundtrack that's going to be now part of the game. So that is absolutely amazing, gang. Absolutely loving that. Got a lot of time for it. I think that's a very worthwhile addition to the game. Now, the last thing that I want to do is I just want to go over the trailer once more with you all so we can take a real good look at it, basically. Right, so as we can see, this is kind of the spooky theme we're going with. These look like the fallen leaves here that we're going to have in the game. Now, I wanted them because I feel like that's going to be such a nice addition to add in certain areas where it just like messes with the leaves on the ground and whatnot. Not everything is so clean and cut all the time. This looks like a new fence design. What a place to pause it, by the way, with the new raccoon. But this looks like a new fence design, which I'm quite enjoying, as the raccoon scoots on by. So yeah, you can see all of the themed items now, gang. You really can. I think they look fantastic, to be honest with you. I think some of it's going to come in really handy. For me, I'm always looking for new pieces to build with, so I don't mind at all, even if it's heavily themed, because there's just ways that you can use this thing. That little spider table is actually really cool. I wonder if we could use that in a really unique way in an insect house. Sure, what I mean? See, you've got to think outside the box sometimes when they give you these new items, basically. There's the cauldron. These are the gargoyles they were talking about. Now, what I've been trying to do is get a peek of some of the other animals. Now, that looks like the wombat, doesn't it? If we take a look there, that looks like the wombat in there. So that's quite interesting. We've got to look at the raccoon. We've got to look at the wombat. I don't think we get a peek at any of the other animals in this trailer. So, oh, there we go. We kind of got a peek of the fox there a little bit. If I just rewind it, yeah, we're just going to get the back of the fox there. So that's quite interesting as well in itself. What else are we getting? There's lots and lots of very cool spooky designs. Now, these rocks, I love these rocks. I think we can do something with this. I really do. I think we'll be able to create something quite unique with those, especially like backdrops and whatnot. The raccoon, again, he's scooting about. He's being a cheeky little fellow, isn't he? And the little hand rub, I think that is the chef's kiss, as they say, at the end of a trailer. So that brings us to the end, my friends. I'll let the trailer play one more time. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below what you're making of the new DLC. Are you happy with it, the animal choices and whatnot? If you're new around here, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and be sure to check out the description box to join all of my socials. But until next time, stay safe, stay humble. I'll see ya for when the new DLC releases. Until then, see you all later.